Charged with indecency with a child in Texas, this man expected a lenient plea deal, but Judge Boyd didn't seem willing to let him off easy.
So why am I accepting this plea?
Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Santos? You're going to have to speak up.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have, and yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Santos, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
You do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Santos, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of indecency with a child contact? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yeah, I believe yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Mr. Santos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. There are no applications and there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea? Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There are none, Judge.
Right, then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State of for States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
We'll have no objection to that, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, the court will find that sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. So why am I accepting this plea?
Your Honor, so this case, when we were preparing it, we were pre-trialing the complainant. She had issues recalling some of the allegations. So that's why we arrived at the agreement that we did. And she is aware, and we did let her mother know about the agreement.
All right, and the court sees that it was a touching and no penetration,
And over the close as well.
Okay. and that the defendant was drunk, very drunk, it appears.
The way I look at it, Judge, my client has instructed me to accept the state's offer.
Okay,
And like I often will say, I don't want to do anything to mess that up.
okay. All right. So who's here in the court with him?
That's Dora. She has been here every single time he's been in court. She's been here on times that I haven't been here.
All right,
But he's got support when he gets out. There have been times that I've been grabbed by another court and unable to attend your court. She's still here waiting. She's called me relentlessly to make sure that I'm looking out for Benny. And she's to some extent been part of his decision-making process in finally deciding to enter a plea to this case. I don't, again, want to get into all of the possible defenses. I'll definitely expound just a tiny bit on what Travis said. He provided to me some Brady sort of material. And if we were to get into that, I think it would help convince you to take the plea bargain agreement as well.
Okay.
I think that Mr. Santos is justly very concerned about the possibility of 20 years imprisonment if the complainant should come to court and 12 jurors should be satisfied by her presentation. And he chooses to take the minimum sentence on a no contest plea. He is well aware of the registration requirements, Your Honor.
All right.
Also, he's got some lingering chronic health issues. I think that should play a part also in the court determining whether or not a longer sentence is necessary in this case.
All right. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be no contact with the complainant or the complainant's sister. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Not with regard to sentencing, Your Honor, there is a convicted in count.
Okay.
Nothing from defense, Judge.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because that's either yes or no.
Oh, yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And this offense carries lifetime registration. Do you understand?